Where does Fred play and what type of player is he? Asked to describe his manner of playing a couple of years ago, Fred put it rather nicely: "I am a conductor. Well, the United orchestra has been out of tune for some time under Mourinho, and they'll hope and pray Fred is the midfield virtuoso that can get them back on song next season." He is commonly described as a box-to-box midfielder, a dynamic player who offers both defensive and offensive attributes, a disruptor and a creator rolled into one. Mourinho has signed a versatile asset. Fred was originally a left-back before being converted into midfield when he signed for Internazionale in his homeland in 2011. Because he is comfortable on both feet, Fred had been deployed as an attacking midfielder at times during his career before settling into a central or deeper midfield role. The most important thing for United is that he is quick to spark attacks by carrying the ball from defense and feeding the attacking players. They have been crying out for something like this for a while. All too often last season United were sluggish breaking forward, allowing opponents to track back and regroup. Fred's speed of both feet and thought, plus his passing range, should help United be speedier in their transitions from front to back next season. What are Fred's strengths? We've already mentioned versatility, speed and transition and passing capability with both feet. Naturally, as a Brazilian, he boasts plenty of technical ability and can beat an opponent on the dribble, while another key attribute is that Fred possesses plenty of stamina to fulfill the box-to-box job. Mourinho will also be satisfied that Fred can put in a defensive shift if United find themselves under the cosh. At Shakhtar, he earned the trust of coach Paulo Fonseca, who allowed him to freely perform both the defensive and offensive duties of a midfielder. It remains to be seen if Mourinho, who often puts the tactical straitjacket on his players, will give him such liberty. Funnily enough, Fred revealed in 2016 that his role model was compatriot Fernandinho, who will of course play across town at Manchester City next season. But actually a better comparison might be with Chelsea's N'Golo Kante in terms of that box-to-box stamina, adaptability and dynamism. If he turns out to be a Kante, United fans will be pretty chuffed. And what about his weaknesses? He only stands 5 feet 7 inches tall, so don't expect Fred to be winning too many headers. But he more than makes up for that in terms of tenacity. He was Shakhtar's most prolific tackler in the Champions League last season, with an average of 2.9 per game. Kante's average was 3.3. However, United should be wary that this tenacity can sometimes spill over into ill discipline. He received 14 yellow cards and 1 red in 29 games for the Ukrainian side last season. The other concern is that while Fred has played 39 European matches for Shakhtar, the Ukrainian Premier League isn't exactly at the same standard of the Premier League. United fans may have to be patient while the Brazilian gets up to speed next season, especially as he'll probably be entering the campaign off the back of a lengthy run at the World Cup in Russia. How will he fit into a 4-3-3 system at United? Mourinho went with a 4-3-3 formation in a good number of United's matches last season, and this would appear to be the best solution when it comes to accommodating both Fred and Paul Pogba in the midfield. He would play either in the middle or on the right of the midfield three alongside Nemanja Matic, with Pogba stationed on the left. Some of Pogba's best performances for United have come from this left-sided station, and potentially Fred could offer the answer when it comes to belatedly getting the best out of the Frenchman at United. The key is in the link-up and transition between the deep-lying Matic and the rampaging Pogba, plus a forward line of Jesse Lingard, Alexis Sanchez and Romelu Lukaku further on. There should be a good balance about United's midfield, with Fred aiding Matic in the defensive responsibilities when required and then springing Pogba. The idea is that the speed of these transitions will give United the thrust going forward they have so often lacked under Mourinho. How will he fit into a 4-2-3-1 system at United? In certain games, Mourinho will revert to the tried and trusted 4-2-3-1, with Fred likely to sit in alongside Matic in defensive midfield. This would be a more conservative role, with opportunities to break forward more limited, but Fred is certainly capable of the tactical discipline Mourinho would want with this setup. One of the chief criticisms of Pogba, and a reason why the youngster Scott McTominay was drafted in for big games last season, was that he lacked this discipline and would overcomplicate things. Problem is, it's now hard to see how they all could be accommodated in this formation, and Pogba could well be seeing more of the United bench. Reason being that United have so many decent attacking options Pogba wouldn't slot in. Who is going to make way? In the 4-3-3, the man who looks like he has the most to lose is Ander Herrera. The Spaniard was drafted in to try to solve the Pogba conundrum, but though his passing is excellent, he struggles in the midfield battle. Fred has a far greater dynamism in this regard. He's also quicker, more skillful, more tenacious and more attack-minded, so you have to fear for Herrera. Mind you, given the sheer volume of matches United will have to get through domestically and in the Champions League next season, plus the inevitable injuries and suspensions, Herrera will no doubt still feature at times. Is Fred the man to get the best out of Pogba? Having spent 2 seasons trying to figure out the Pogba equation, Mourinho will certainly hope that is the case. As explained, Fred should have the attributes to fit in as the link man between Matic and Pogba, theoretically allowing the £89 million man to forget defensive duties and concentrate on aiding United's attack. It may take a few matches, a few months even, for Fred and Pogba to get used to playing alongside one another. They may well tread on each other's toes at first. What Mourinho should have here is the ideal man to bring the best out of Pogba in an attacking sense. If that doesn't happen, then United may have to cut their losses.